back with another trade recap. Hope you guys have a blessed morning today, and hope all's going good. All going according to God's plan. And as I'm about to get into this trade recap here, just pray everybody has an amazing day and the rest of the week. So yeah, going into the 4 hour. Lately, like this week, it's just been consolidating, going to internal highs, internal lows, and so there's not really a biasness on when we're gonna go higher or lower. But going into this into market open, I did end up taking a short, but I did want to take a short, but I didn't end up entering, as I'll get to that. But as you can see, we did end up taking sell side liquidity. Buy side liquidity, sorry. So we did end up taking these highs, these previous highs, and we didn't end up distributing past that. So as we swept lower, and as you can see on the lower time frame, I did end up taking my trade on the 30-second, as I saw we were coming lower, but I didn't see any confluences on the higher or on these 1 minutes. So I just want to see what's going on like in the smaller time frames. So as you can see here, I entered this trade off just a straight inversion. I didn't enter this trade. This is a trade I wanted to take going market open, but I just sat on my hands and didn't end up taking this trade. But as we swept liquidity, we had this gap here. We ended up inversing it. So the last confluence I would need is after taking these highs would be just a change in the steady direction. And we did end up, breaking below that CISD. And that would have been my entry right then and there. But I sat on my hands is again, I just the fear of losing. And so I just didn't take the trade. And I did mark this out. Like as soon as I saw these confluences, I ended up putting this graph here to see if it would have ended up playing out. And obviously, it came back, tapped into the CISD, and just continued to go lower as it would have hit my take profit. But going into that, I was like, damn, like he did end up hitting my trade. So going into that, I did get him extra, confidence in entering the trade. So I was just, I entered right away. Not right away, but once we, took these lows here, I waited for a small manipulation lower, which is exactly what we did, a CISD change. But again, my drawn liquidity wasn't where it was. So we did end up taking these internal highs and going back lower. And I thought I would just come back up, respect the gap, and come back higher. But, I guess I got too much confidence off this trade. And yeah, ended up getting stopped out for like 1,000. So yeah, if I didn't end up taking this trade, I would have been done. And so I was already in drawdown in my account because, I risked pretty heavy on these evals. So I did see another setup, but that was like, I was already like so close to passing, like to blowing my account. So I just took a small confluence, like a C setup, and I ended up blowing my account. I forgot even where I ended up taking that account. That trade. But yeah, so this was a trade I would have taken, and this is a trade that I did end up taking, and it not playing out for a L. But I ended up buying a new account like the same 5 minutes later, and I was just watching it chop. Just continue to go lower. And then I was just chilling, watching trade recaps and just learning, continue to study. If I didn't see nothing, I would have just been off for the day. But I did end up seeing, like, we ended up sweeping these lows here. And I saw my confluences going into this trade here. So, as you can see, we have this CISD here, this last move lower. So that was one confluence after sweeping these lows. And another confluence was obviously, inversing this gap here. So after the inverse, I put my entry, and I didn't see any other confluences going down besides this gap here, which we were, fighting against, but we ended up coming down, inversing it, coming back down, going higher. But this is the trade I did end up taking like 30 minutes ago, and it did end up playing out for a huge dub. I was under. I took the trade under, the max win. Um, so yeah, so that was a good trade, a little comeback. But as this trade was playing with my emotions, but I sat on my hands. I didn't want to take any profits, so I just sat on my hands and then just waited, and boom, ended up taking my take profit after this, this high here, but came back down into this inverse, this 2 minute inverse, and boom, we ended up skyrocketing a little bit, but we're coming back down as we are in a pretty bearish day. But yeah, so I did end up catching this bullish move up. So yeah, took a little win today, and so it was basically a break even day for me. I did take a L and I did take a win, but new account, new fresh, clear mind as I'm just thinking about this. So I'm up on the day basically. So yeah, that's it for the trade recap. Hope you guys have all a blessed, amazing day. And if you want to join the community to start your journey or just be with like-minded people, there's a Discord in the description. So yeah, I hope everybody has a godlike Monday or godlike Wednesday. Yeah, God bless everybody.